So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create and sell a course using Kit email marketing platform. So let's dive in. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is John. If you're new around here, I basically spend most of my time helping solo business owners to design and build email first marketing systems that is going to generate them an income. Okay, so let's start by looking at the example course that I'm going to create now. The course is going to be designed in such a way that it's delivered via email, drip fed at a frequency of your choosing. The example I'm going to show you is going to be weekly. It's a 12-week course with one lesson going out each week. You can configure yours however you wish. So just to show you the example here, so mine is going to be Kit Email Mastery Starter Edition, and a 12-week self-study digital course that people can consume the content at their leisure, but it will be drip fed to them via email 1 week at a time. So let's look at the component parts, the elements that are going to be included inside this course. Now it's going to be very simple, there's not many components, but let's step through and look at each one of them. So the ones at the top here, you can see the elements that we're going to need for our system. The ones in the red rectangle are going to be all inside Kit, the Kit email marketing platform. So we've got an email template, an email sequence, a visual automation, and a product for actually selling it. And then outside of Kit, we've got a couple of optional items here if we want to use them. The example I'm going to show you includes these optional items. And if you want to include them, then I'm going to show you how to do that. And one is video hosting, and one is document hosting. So if you want to create like companion documents for your course, you can do that too. Okay, so let's move across now to Kit, and I'll show you inside Kit how we create each one of those items that we need for the course. So the first one is an email template. So that is located under the send item at the top, the menu option at the top. So you have to send and then email templates. Click on that, and then click on the button that says new email template. You'll then be given a list of starting templates that you can choose from. Choose whichever one you want that suits your personal preferences. The one I tend to use, I quite like, is this platform one here. So I'm going to choose that as an example, and I can then change the elements in here to be reflective of my business and my course. So the first thing I'll do is click on this logo here and replace it with one of mine. So let's say that one there, and let's say I'm going to get rid of that, and I'll start it with some personalization, and I might finish it with, let's say, a little sign off, a little signature. Okay, like that one. So what I've now done is I've essentially created a template, an email template that I can use for every single email in the course. The way the course is structured is each lesson in the course is contained within an email. Okay, and that will make sense when I get to the sequence to show you. What I'm going to do is change this up here, the name of this template, to let's say digital course self-study. Let's say I'm going to call it that one. And that's now saved, so I can now use that template as many times as I want in the email sequence that I'm going to create. So if I just go back to the elements that we're going to create, the next one at the top there, you can see after email template is the email sequence. So I'm now going to get in and show you how to create an email sequence inside Kit. So if you're not familiar with what an email sequence is, it's essentially a series of emails that go out one after another at a predetermined time, predetermined interval. If I want to create a new sequence, click this button up here. It says new sequence, and it'll ask me which email template I want to use for my sequence, and I'm going to select the one that I've just created there called Digital Course Self-Study. So I'll choose that one, and then what Kit does is it loads the first email into the editor, which we're looking at now. So just to give you a bit of orientation around this screen, so on the sort of left hand side in here is the email editor itself, and then on the right hand side is the list of all the emails that are included in the sequence. So in other words, it's going to show you a list of all the lessons in the course. Okay, so I'm going to change, first of all, change the name of the sequence so that it makes sense. So I'm going to call this, I like to give it a naming convention of like delivery. So I know this is a delivery sequence. In other words, it's going to deliver the content to the customer, and I'm going to call it Kit Email Mastery, and then I'm going to say Starter Edition. Starters Edition. I'm going to put in brackets here demo, so we can see it's just a demo. Okay, so now I have got that sequence created, but now I've only got one email in it. Now what I would do in here is I would typically put in here the lessons that I'm going to be teaching inside the email here. I'm not going to do that because I've got one I've already created. I'm going to show you. But down the right hand side, the more lessons you want to create, all you need to do is add more emails. So click this button here, you add a second email. So that could be lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5. You get the gist. The more emails you add to your sequence, each one of those could be a lesson for inside your email course. So once we've got all the emails in our sequence and we've got all the content inside the emails, in other words, we've created all the lessons, all the content in the lessons, then we'll have our course ready to sell. Now I'm going to come out here and I'm going to go to one that I've already created, so that you can see what it looks like when it's finished. So this one here is one that I did earlier. So you can see here, down the right hand side, I've got a whole bunch of emails down here. And then on the left hand side is all the content from the course. So the first email goes out as soon as someone has purchased the course. This is what goes out to them. So it's week 1 of 12. I tend to add in like a companion document for each one. So if I click on that button and then I go across here to where it says styles, you can see I've got a URL in here. Now all that is it's a link to, in my case, a Google Doc. It could be any digital asset you want. It's a Google Doc that people can click on and then download a copy of it if they choose to do that. I'll just take a copy of that and show you what it looks like in a browser window. So you can see it just takes them to this document that they can download. Okay, so that's how the companion document side of it works. I've then got in here a link that people can get access to a 30-day trial, and then down here I've got videos. They can go and watch the video content. If you want to have videos in yours, there's 2 ways in which you can embed video inside an email and Kit. One is using Vimeo, which is the hosting platform I use, or you can actually use YouTube if you want. And the way you would protect that or hide it from people who hadn't bought it is you would make it unlisted on YouTube. So just to show you an example in here, so if I click on this video, you can see in here this URL. That is the URL that takes the customer to the video for that course. If I take a copy of that and then go back into this browser window and paste that in, you'll see the video appears for people to watch. So I can click that video and it will start to play. Okay, so I'm not going to play it, but you get the gist. And this one I have 2 videos, so video 1, video 2. And then I create this little box here, just a summary to say your actions for this week. So I've now delivered lesson 1, and this is the actions that I want them to go and do. I summarize it for them, and then I give them a pro tip. Okay, so that's lesson 1 done. That gets sent out. Whenever they buy it, or whenever you decide you want to send it out. I send it out, and the first lesson as soon as they buy the course, and then everything happens after that in relative terms to when the first email goes out. So what I mean by that is down here you can see the second email in the sequence is going out 4 days after that one. Now what I do is I create a second email each week and as a check-in. So they're checking in to see if that email, checking in with the customer to see if they've completed the lesson. I remind them what the actions were, and then I give them some frequently asked questions that other people have asked when they're at this stage of the course. So you can see, for example, here, should I get this plan or that plan and kit? What if I don't have a domain name? So it's questions that are typically asked by students at this stage in the course. Then 3 days after that one, which is now 7 days, because it's a week later, 4 days and then 3 days, I then go ahead and send out week 2, so they're getting lesson number 2. Exactly the same thing happens. I'm sending them to a companion document, and then I'm sending them to the videos for that week. So in this case, it's different lessons, and I give them the actions for that week, another pro tip, and then that rhythm continues week after week after week. So week 2, after 4 days, so let's say they buy the course on a Monday, they'll get the lesson on a Monday, and then they'll get the check-in email the following the Thursday, 4 days later. And it just repeats itself. So they get the frequently asked questions. I always like to give people an easy way to ask me a question if they want. So I always include an ask me question button in the email. So if they are stuck or they want help with something, click the button and I'll jump in and help them. And that's it. That's as complex as it gets. All you're creating is a simple series of emails, as many or as few as you wish, and the content inside that email can be whatever you want it to be. And then once you've saved that, you've literally got the sequence that you can then drip feed to anyone who buys the course from you. Okay, so now that we have our course created, we need a vehicle through which to sell it. So that's where we get into the commerce side of Kit. So up here you see there's a menu item that says Earn. Click on that, and then the first one there, it says Products. That's the one we're interested in. So I'm going to click on Products. This is just a demo account, so you'll see a bunch of different things in here. I'm going to show you how to create a product. So the first thing I'll say is that the commerce platform is available in most territories. However, there are some territories in the world that it's not available. So check out if your territory is supported in commerce at the moment or not. So the first thing we need to do is click on a new product. If you haven't, once you have your Kit account, if you haven't yet used commerce, then you probably haven't connected Kit to your bank account yet. Now, the way to do that is via the payment merchant that that Kit uses is called Stripe. If you don't have a Stripe account, don't worry about it. Kit will create one for you. It'll take you through a series of questions. Just enter the information it's asking for, and by the time you get to the end of the process, you'll have a Stripe account. You'll have a connection from Kit to your bank account. Once you've done that, then you're free to create as many products as you want, and each time you sell something, Kit and Stripe will manage the financial transaction for you, and your money will arrive in your bank. Usually about, in my experience, usually about a week or 10 days after the transaction, your money will be in the bank. So to create your product, so in this case it's going to be the digital course. So I'm going to say Kit email mastery, and I'm just going to call this one demo because I've already got one set up. And then we've got the option of, is it a pay once product, or is it a subscription? In other words, something that recurs every month, every quarter, every year. It could be a membership or something, so you've got the flexibility to do that. I'm just going to select product and say next. It then says, it gives you 3 options. Do you want a standard one-time fixed price? Do you want to let the customers pay what they want? It's not one I've ever used myself, but it's there as an option. And then you've got the option to split it into a payment plan for your customers if you want. So if it's more of a higher ticket item, you might want to split it into 2 or 3 payments for the customers. Then you can choose the price. So let's say $200, and then down here you've got the option of choosing different currencies if you want to do that as well. Click next, and then it asks you what type of product is it you're selling. Is it a digital download? Is it a newsletter, or is it something else? In this case, for example I'm showing you, we're going to choose something else because it's essentially a digital course we're selling, and then I'm going to click next. And the final step here is to choose the URL that we can send people to so that they can purchase it. So it will pick up the default domain, whatever you've got in your Kit account, and then by default it will pick up the product name, whatever you called it, as the suffix to the URL. And once you click create product, it then opens up the editor for the product. I'll show you that in a moment when it loads in. Okay, so this is what it looks like at the moment. So this is essentially what the page will look like when you send people to buy your course. This left hand side here, you can add in an image. So I'm going to click there, add an image, and let's say this one here I've created already. So now I've got this image that says the name of the course. I've also got the price on there. You don't need to have that if you don't want to. I would change all this text in here so it's meaningful. It tells them more about the course. Maybe explains a little bit about me as the instructor, and then you give them the option to buy it. The buy button you can change to, you can change the color and all that kind of stuff if you want to. Make it look and feel the way you want. You can change the text on there as well. Buy the course now. You can make that whatever you want. Then at the top here you can see there's another 3 buttons. So the checkout button, you can see that there. That's what it's going to look like to the customer. By the way, down here, this little built with badge, if you're on a paid plan with Kit, you can remove that just by deselecting that, and it doesn't show. If you're on the free plan, you don't have that option, it has to show it. But the good news is, on the free plan you can still use the commerce platform, so it's available to you even on the free plan. You've got the option here of adding an upsell, so you might want to put a bump sale on if you want to do that. I don't think I have any. Oh, maybe I do. Just going to pick one at random. I'm stick on a 25% discount and then save that. And now I've got an upsell that people can buy that as well if they want to. And then for the confirmation, this is what it's going to look like. However, you can edit this. You can get in and start adding. So if I wanted to get in and add, let's say, an image and put that in there, I can start to personalize what the confirmation page looks like for the customer. And then finally, the last one is the receipt email they get. So again, like the last one, you can add in images as well. You can add in different text and stuff. This is the email that's going to arrive after they've purchased the product. So that's how you build and create a product to sell to the customer. You click save and then you click publish. When you do that and click publish, what you get here is the URL. If I click on that and then put it to a browser window, you'll see it'll take you to essentially what's the landing page for buying that product. Okay. So that's how you would create the product through which to sell your course. Okay. So let's just recap where we are now. So going back to this document, you can see here we've got the email template we've looked at already, the email sequence we've done, and now we've created the product through which to sell the actual course. The final bit inside Kit is the visual automation. So let's now look at how we create a visual automation using Kit. Okay, so we'll navigate to the top here. It says automate and then visual automations. Okay. Again, if you're not familiar with visual automations, they're very, very powerful, but they're actually quite simple to build and to use. So click on new automation, and then you'll see in here there's a bunch of templates that have been created by Kit. However, I'm going to use this one here. It's just start from scratch, just to show you how simple it is. So first thing I always do is create a name for the automation so that it makes sense to me, and I can pick it out from a list. So again, delivery, mastery, I'm going to call this one demo. So at the very top of every visual automation is what's known as the entry point, or the trigger for pulling a subscriber into this automation and processing them through it. So I'm going to start by clicking start building, And then it says, what is the trigger point? What is going to trigger this automation for the subscriber, or in this case, the customer? And I'm going to select purchase because they're purchased something from me. And then Kit says, well, what is it you want me to look out for? Which purchase in particular? And I'm going to say, I want you to look out for, and I go to scroll to the bottom, you see the most recent one, Kit email mastery and demo in this case, okay? So I'm now saying to Kit, every time someone buys this product, I want you to do the following with them. So I'm going to click add event. And now that's the entry point, okay? I'm going to keep this very, very simple. These can get quite complex and very, very powerful, but I'm just going to keep this one very, very simple. So this will capture every single person who buys the product from you, and it will put them into this automation. The next thing I want it to do, I'm going to click on this little plus button here, and it adds the next step inside the automation. And I'm going to say what I want you to do is deliver a sequence to the customer. So I'm going to click on email sequence, and then it'll say which sequence do you want me to deliver. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to say this one here, deliver the Kit email mastery starter edition. I'm going to click that. Now there's nothing in this one, as you remember. I just put a few draft ones in there, but you can imagine if the email course content was in here, that would then start to be drip fed out to the subscriber at the predetermined intervals that you've already configured inside your sequence. And that's it. Kit will then just drip feed those emails out to the customer at the predetermined interval. So on the first day they get lesson number 1, a few days later they get the check-in email, and then a week later after the first email they get lesson 2, etc. It just repeats and repeats after that. And that is literally it. You just need to activate that. Once you've got that activated, click on activate up here. And now that that's active, every time someone purchases one of those your digital course from me, they'll be taken into this automation, and then they'll be drip fed the email sequence. And that's as simple as that. It's all you need to do and to design, build and sell your course using Kit. So there you have it. I hope that was helpful. I would encourage you now just to go away and try it. Design your course. It doesn't need to be 12 weeks. It could be 8 weeks, 4 weeks. It could be 20 weeks. It could be whatever you want it to be. You can be as creative as you want inside your email with regards to the content in there. What I've shown you is just an idea. It's just one suggestion. I'm sure you'll be able to come up with a lot more for your particular business or your niche. But yeah, give it a go. If you've got any questions or comments, stick them in below, and I'll definitely jump in, answer them, and help you out as best I can. So thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I look forward to hearing what you do with your courses inside Kit. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.